This portrait was painted in 1887 in the English countryside. The mansion you're seeing, Ravenswood Hall in Devon, belonged to the Ashford family for 3 generations. But look carefully at this painting. Look at the young girl in the ornate frame, her pale face, her dark eyes that seem to follow whoever views the image. Her name was Eleanor Ashford, only 7 years old when this portrait was commissioned. But beneath this painting, hidden behind the canvas for more than a century, lay remains of a secret. A secret that would challenge everything we understand about family loyalty and what lengths parents will go to protect their reputation. This is the story of how a child's grave remained hidden within her family's walls, concealed behind the very portrait meant to immortalize her. Eleanor Ashford was born on March the 14th, 1880, the youngest daughter of Lord Edward Ashford and Lady Catherine Ashford. Ravenswood Hall was an imposing Victorian manor set on 200 acres of gardens and woodlands. The family employed 37 servants, maintaining the estate with precision. Eleanor's childhood appeared privileged and sheltered within walls of wealth. She had governesses, music teachers, riding instructors. But by all contemporary accounts from household records and family correspondence in Devon archives, Eleanor was a difficult child. Not troublesome in obvious ways, but withdrawn, prone to long silences, subject to unexplained illnesses. She refused social gatherings. She complained of strange dreams. She spoke of seeing things in mirrors that others insisted weren't there. By 1886, when Eleanor was 6, she had become nearly completely reclusive. She spent entire days in her third-floor bedroom, staring out at the grounds, speaking to no one. Lord Edward, concerned about his daughter's condition but unwilling to expose the family to scandal through medical consultation, hired a private physician named Dr. Arthur Blackwell, who agreed to treat Eleanor exclusively within the manor. What happened during those months remains only partially documented. Dr. Blackwell's journals suggest he believed Eleanor suffered from progressive wasting illness, combined with severe psychological disturbance. Her parents refused his recommendations for sanitarium treatment and insisted she remain at Ravenswood. In September 1887, Eleanor died. Quemo. The official death certificate lists the cause as consumption. But the girl was never buried in the family crypt at St. Michael's Church. No funeral service was conducted. No announcement was made to the extended family. It was as if Eleanor had simply vanished. What actually happened to Eleanor's body remained unknown until November 2009, when restoration work on the portrait revealed the truth. Makitet, for the painting, valued at approximately £40,000, was being cleaned and preserved by a specialist team. Behind the painting, fixed to the wooden backing, they discovered something impossible: a small ossuary. Human bones, carefully arranged, wrapped in deteriorated linen cloth, with a date carved into the wooden backing. September 12, 1887. The bones were later examined by Dr. Margaret Chen, a forensic anthropologist at Oxford. She confirmed they belonged to a child aged approximately 6 to 7 years old. The remains showed signs consistent with a wasting illness, but also evidence of extreme malnutrition and possible intentional starvation. Eleanor had been concealed within the very portrait meant to celebrate her life. Her parents, unable to explain her condition to society, had arranged for her remains to be secreted into the painting itself. They hired the portrait artist, instructed him to seal the backing with the bones inside, and then claimed Eleanor had been sent away to distant relatives for her health. The scandal destroyed what remained of the Ashford family's reputation. Lord Edward's business interests collapsed within months. Lady Catherine withdrew completely from society. Their other children married beneath their station, desperate to escape association with the family name. The mansion passed to distant relatives and eventually became a hotel. It burned in 1923 under suspicious circumstances. Whether Eleanor's death was intentional or merely covered up through increasingly desperate measures remains unclear. What we know is that a child was concealed, hidden inside a portrait that hung in a place of honor, seen by hundreds of visitors over more than a century. Her true location, a secret measured in inches behind her painted image. If you find this historical case as disturbing as I do, stories of families protecting secrets at any cost, of children hidden from history, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more mysteries from Manor House archives and forgotten records.